Beneath your feet, the earth breathes fire, not in a whisper, but in eruptions that can silence cities, shift climates, and echo across continents. This is not mythology. This is geology. These are the 10 deadliest dormant volcanoes, giants that slumber now, but when they wake, the world listens. 10. Mount Rainier, USA, towering above Seattle, cloaked in ice. Mount Rainier looks serene. But this beauty is deceptive. It hasn't erupted in centuries, but scientists call it the most dangerous volcano in North America. Why? Because of lahars, fast-moving floods of mud, rock, and ice. If Rainier erupts, these icy avalanches could swallow valleys and choke cities in hours. Surprising fact, a future eruption could produce lahars reaching 100 kilometers away in just 3 hours. On the top 9, Mount Vesuvius, Italy. Everyone knows Pompeii. Few realize Vesuvius is still alive. Its last eruption was in 1944, well within living memory. Today, nearly 3 million people live in its shadow. Modern Naples rests on the same deathbed where ash once rained down and statues turned to stone. Seismic note. Vesuvius sits in one of the most closely monitored seismic zones in Europe. The mountain stirs regularly, just not enough to scream. Number 8, Mount Unzen, Japan. In 1991, Mount Unzen proved science can't always stay ahead of nature. A surge of hot gas and ash, called a pyroclastic flow, swept down the slopes. It moved faster than a jetliner at takeoff, killing 43 people in seconds, including scientists filming its fury. Intensity stat. Temperatures inside pyroclastic flows exceed 1,000 degrees Celsius. They move at over 100 kilometers per hour. Firestorms you can't outrun. At the top 7, Mount Agung, Indonesia. Mount Agung, the sacred mountain of Bali, rose violently in 1963. The eruption killed over 1,000 and launched a column of ash 20 kilometers high. It blackened skies, poisoned crops, and disrupted life on the island. Number 6, Mount Pelée, Martinique. May 8, 1902. Mount Pelée erupts with no mercy. A cloud of superheated gas rushed down into the city of Saint-Pierre. It took 30,000 lives in under 2 minutes. Only one man survived, locked in a stone cell. Explosive detail. It wasn't lava that killed. It was speed, heat, and gas moving at hurricane velocity. On the top 5, Mount Tambora, Indonesia. April 1815. Tambora erupts with the force of 170,000 Hiroshima bombs. It was the largest eruption in human history. The explosion could be heard 2,000 kilometers away. Tsunamis followed. But the most chilling impact? It cooled the entire planet. Historical fact: 1816 became the year without a summer. Crops failed in Europe. Snow fell in June. Tambora killed 71,000 directly and millions indirectly through famine and disease. Number 4, Nevado del Ruiz, Colombia. 1985. Colombia's Nevado del Ruiz erupts. It melts glaciers and sends lahars hurtling toward the town of Armero. It wasn't the biggest eruption. It didn't need to be. 23,000 people died in one night, buried in mud and silence. Nearing the number 1 most deadliest volcano, here is the top 3. Yellowstone Caldera, USA. Beneath Yellowstone's geysers and wildlife, lies a supervolcano. It hasn't erupted in 640,000 years, but its magma chamber is alive. If it erupted today, it could bury half of North America in ash and drop global temperatures for years. Seismic significance. Over 2,000 earthquakes rattle Yellowstone every year. They're whispers from a behemoth no one wants to see awake. On the top two, Taal Volcano, Philippines. Taal is small, but deadly. In 2020, it erupted with little warning. Ash blanketed Manila. Lightning danced in the eruption column. Hundreds of thousands evacuated. Its location, on an island in a lake, makes it stunning and unstable. Volcanic oddity. Taal is one of only a few lake-in-lake volcanoes in the world, meaning eruption paths are chaotic and unpredictable. Now the most deadliest volcano erupted in the 20th century on the #1 spot, Mount Pinatubo, Philippines. In 1991, Pinatubo rose from silence with one of the most powerful eruptions of the 20th century. Its ash cloud reached 35 kilometers high. It darkened skies, cooled the earth by 0.6 degrees Celsius, and displaced 200,000 people. Seismic legacy. Its eruption helped rewrite volcanic preparedness worldwide. The eruption was rated a VEI 6, indicating a very large and explosive eruption. Without warning systems, the death toll could have been 10 times worse. The eruption ejected a substantial amount of magma, exceeding 10 cubic kilometers, and is considered #1 world's deadliest volcanic eruption in human history, ever recorded. These giants sleep for decades, centuries, even millennia, but they remember. Every tremor is a whisper. Every plume is a warning. When they awaken, they don't just change landscapes, they change history. The question isn't if they'll erupt again, it's when.